How's it going, everybody? C-RadTV back here with another video, and of course, it's that time of the year again. It's time for the NFL draft previews to return, as we are now officially entering draft season with the draft just over a month away up in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So, of course, we're going to begin our 2025 version of the NFL draft previews, beginning with the top offensive lineman prospects for rounds 1 of the 2025 NFL draft. Because even though O-line has been a strength for the Lions, it is starting to age out a bit. And honestly, the main thing they really need to address on the O-line is guard, with the departure of Kevin Seitler in the offseason. Plus, there have been rumors about Taylor Decker potentially retiring or Frank Ragnow. So, we do have a couple things to address, even though I think we're pretty good with one of the guard positions with Christian Mahogany, but maybe look at somebody possibly to replace Graham Glasgow long-term, since Graham Glasgow is entering a contract season this season. So, yeah. So, yeah, we're going to take a look at some of the top O-lineman prospects for the late first round of the draft. Since with the Lions picking currently at pick 28, unless they trade the pick away, it really limits some of the options the Lions can go for. But there are some pretty good options in this draft class and in the late first round. Even though, I'll be honest, I think O-line could be something that can be addressed in like the second round or hell, even the third round. But we'll still go over some of the top O-lineman prospects because you never know how the draft goes. Even though, yes, I do know O-lineman, it isn't the sexiest pick in the world, they are very essential for a team's success, especially on offense. So anyway, let's go through and let's take a look at some of the top O-lineman, offensive lineman prospects in rounds 1 of the 2025 NFL draft. Starting off with offensive tackles, the first one we're going to go over here. Hailing out of Purdue, standing 6'5", weighing 300 pounds, we got Marcus Mbao. So for Marcus, he's your prototype pass-blocking offensive tackle because of his footwork and his long 33-inch arms. It aids him in pass protection. His stance and anchor create a clean pocket for Hudson Card up in Purdue. And his strength and the finisher's mindset won't hurt at all. In terms of his strengths, excellent athlete, fluid movement, agility, quick feet, allows for great mirroring and pass protection, well-developed lower body, helps him anchor against bull rushes, smart player, can direct other members of the line to pick up blitzes, great in the zone run game as a puller, flashes good grip strength, sustains blocks well, superior leverage, pad level, potentially positional versatility with career stats at both guard and tackle, hand placement and usage are above par. In terms of his weaknesses, though, potential longevity concerns with his broken leg in 2023. Light for his position, will need to put on more weight. Needs heavier hands as his punches don't have a ton of power. He has some moments where his anchor wears down against big edge defenders. Lacks the power to move large opponents in gap. Power and counter run concepts and potential questions on arm length. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Rashawn Slater of the Los Angeles Chargers. Overall, a lot of things to like. I have a very good athlete, has a lot of positional versatility. Definitely, I could see somebody the Lions keeping an eye on. Don't know if he would be there at 28. They would probably have to trade up if they want any chance to get him, though. But somebody to keep an eye on. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Minnesota, standing 6'6", weighing 337 pounds. We got Aratone Irise. So for Aratone, he's your prototype run blocking offensive tackle because he bulldozes defenders when asked to play people mover in the run game. Decent athleticism on a 6'6" frame. Also brings different dimension to run blocking. In terms of his strengths, extremely powerful run blocker. Demonstrated man-moving power against North Carolina if you want to watch the film there. Plenty of experience at left tackle. Should be able to fit on either side of the pro level. Fluid, easy-moving athlete for his size. Gets around the field like a 300-pounder. Plays with a stable anchor despite his leverage lapses. Rarely moved back by initial rush. Has the balance to reset his feet once he cedes ground. Impressive body control for his size. Doesn't get tangled up on his own feet when he handles stunts or inside counters. In terms of his weaknesses, though, size, average flexibility makes it difficult for teams to project him inside if he struggles at tackle. Hand speed coordination are average by NFL standards, can lead to blocks sustained by his body rather than his feet. He does have some recovery issues that comes with being a taller tackle. Doesn't have the length or lateral agility to immediately make up for it. He has some brawler tendencies that will get exposed against high-end technicians and athletes at the NFL level. In terms of NFL comparison, he's been compared to Talise Fuaga of the New Orleans Saints. Overall, a lot of things to like out of Aratone's game. Few limitations, but a lot of things to like, especially in the run game, with the Lions really being specialized in the run game. Might be there at 28, but I think you'll have to probably trade up to the early 20s maybe to have a shot at him. So the next player we're going to go over here, hailing out of Texas, standing 6'4", weighing 324 pounds, we got Kelvin Banks Jr. So for Kelvin's strengths, he played tackle throughout his college career, has proven capable of holding up outside so far. Quick to recognize stunts, can trade out blocks, savvy with hand placement, and can adjust instantly to what defenders are giving him. He combines his flexibility in his lower body with natural leverage advantage. Plays with a mean streak, won't back away from being a brawler in the run game. He's quick enough to recover if he makes a mistake with his punch. Plays with a steady wide base of pass protection. Very few flaws in his game other than his stature. In terms of his weaknesses, though, length limitation, shorter frame. They'll lead most teams to project him as an inside player. Develops some bad leaning habits to help overcome the length difference in college. His strength and power, they don't match up with his tendencies to match his style. He ends up on the ground too regularly. Athleticism is only above average for a tackle. Won't compensate for the stature and length limitations. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Peter Skoronski at the Tennessee Titans. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game. I think it's definitely someone to keep an eye on. I think he can be there at 28. May not need to trade up if the Lions would be interested in him. And the final tackle we're going to go over in this video before we move on to guards and centers. We have hailing out of LSU, standing 6'5", weighing 319 pounds. We got Emory Jones Jr. So for Emory's strengths, ability to stay balanced, keep all his movements coordinated, impressive for his weight. Moves like a 300-pound lineman, has an ease to his steps that will stand out to scouts. Quick mental processor, rarely makes mistakes with his assignments. He's precise with his initial punch, has minimal wasted motion and pass protection. Punches jarring, has plenty of power to create lanes as a run blocker. Resets his feet, regains his anchor quickly once he starts to lose ground. Almost never shocked by length or strength. In terms of weaknesses, though, body type and length, it may end up leading to a projection at guard instead of tackle. Lateral agility is average by league standards, could create some issues against speedy edge rushers. Maybe a right tackle only if he stays outside long term. Lower ceiling prospect without the tool set that's typical of an all-pro type player. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Darnell Wright of the Chicago Bears. Overall, a lot of things to like out of his game. Does a lot of good things right. Can create lanes as a run blocker. Has no wasted motion and pass protection. A lot of good techniques with him. Definitely, I think someone maybe to keep an eye on at 28. Most likely will not have to trade up to get him. And now moving on to guards. In fact, this is the only guard we're going to look at for the first round of the draft because most of the guards in this draft class aren't expected to go till the second or third round of the draft. And in fact, this is the last offensive lineman and the final player we're going to go over in this video because the centers in this draft class aren't expected to go till day two of the draft. And day 3. So this makes it kind of a little bit awkward here. But anyway, we'll go over this one player here. So we got hailing out of Alabama, standing 6'5", weighing 325 pounds. We got Tyler Booker. So for Tyler, he's your prototype pass blocking guard. Because his anchor and bulk, it makes him extremely difficult to beat. Can completely wash out blitzers with his raw strength alone. In terms of strengths, delivers overwhelming initial contact. Hands are large and powerful, explosive out of his stance. Can really knock a defender back initially. Require him to work back into the play. Anchor's impressive if it allows to stay in a spot to create a clean pocket. He's nearly impossible to move out of the area. One of the biggest, bulkiest guys on the field at any given time. Absolutely muscled out. Maintains solid leverage. Strikes his palm into his chest consistently. Keeps his feet mobile, isn't as plodding as many power guys. He became a better mover after cutting some weight, which implies that growth could still be made athletically. In terms of his weaknesses, though, his work in space is lumbering. Guys are able to maneuver around him if he's unable to extend his hands out quick enough. Segmented movement, it makes for a stiffness to his game that's worrisome. Can also create some easy telegraphing of plays because of his false steps. He has some problems in space, doesn't have the natural agility to recover against players who are willing to work the outside shoulder and rush past him. Violent hands at the beginning of play, it loses energy though towards the end, indicating potential endurance problems, so that could be an issue. In terms of his NFL comparison, he's been compared to Jermaine Elmerner. That last name's a bit of a tongue twister, but anyway, he played for the New York Giants. So overall, a lot of things to like out of his game. Very big body, very hard to move, plays very violent. Now, a lot of things that would check a lot of boxes for the culture here. I think somebody to keep an eye on for sure. The Lions would most likely have to move up to trade up to probably have a shot at him, but you never know how the draft goes because of how much of a crapshoot it is. But yeah, anyway, that'll wrap it up for this Detroit Lions 2025 NFL Draft Preview. A couple names to keep an eye on for sure. I mean, the names are pretty limited in terms of what could be there at 28 if the Lions even stay there, or if they trade up, or hell, even trade the pick. If they're crazy enough to trade a first-round pick to go get Trey Hendrickson from the Bengals. You never know how this goes with the offseason or how the draft goes because of how much of a crapshoot it is. But definitely a few names to keep an eye on. I'll be more perfectly honest. I think with how the O-lineman class is in round 2 and 3 of the draft, I think O-lineman's more something to address in day 2 of the draft than day 1. I think day 1 should be more focused on either getting a D lineman or edge rusher or hell, even another corner. Which that could be the route the Lions go. I mean, you never know with Brad Holmes and the great Detroit Master Plan, because Brad will always be bold. And when it comes to the draft, you just got to, in the draft, and Brad we trust. Because he's hit it out of the park in every draft he's been a part of so far, and I think this one will be no exception. But anyway, that'll wrap it up for this draft preview. In the next one, we're going to go to the other side of the trenches and go look at some of the top D lineman prospects for round 1 of the 2025 NFL Draft. But anyway, that'll wrap it up here. That's all I'm going to say. And I'll see you all whenever I make next. I'm out.